Hello, it's Polish Pol VR, welcome to my channel and welcome to second episode of Before the Drop, when we're gonna talk about the games just before they release. Today we're gonna concentrate on the Space Junkies and some of the game's design decisions. Before I start, if you like what you're seeing, please press a like because it does help the channel a lot, and if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. Let's make it bigger, let's make it better, it's always nicer when it's more of us. So I decided to pick Space Junkies about this week's PSVR Before the Drop because this game proves to be very divisive, and it comes to some strange design decisions took by the developers, biggest one being of course controls. First of all, I want to ask you a question. Those of you who played the beta, do you still planning on buying the game, or are you gonna wait maybe for some patches, or did you decided to just not give it a go, or are you really hyped and cannot wait to play it? Let me know in the comment section, I want to see what your thoughts are. So my experience with this game control wise, when I first started playing it, I was like, this is terrible. I could not get used to it, to this DualShock aiming. I've done tutorial in the game is very clear, but once you start playing, a lot of time I found myself trying to aim with my head. It just felt so natural, and I found it frustrating that you have to aim with DualShock and a bit confusing. I was ready to give up on the game, but then a few days later I gave it another go. I got used to the controls and I had a lot of fun. But I know a lot of people say, no, I don't like these controls, they're terrible, and just completely gave up on the game, while people who decided to play a bit longer and get used to the controls saying it's very fun game, so very divisive. Other thing I didn't like is the snap turning. It didn't bother me that much, but you know, it would be nice to have some options. I can pass that. The biggest thing what annoys me in this game is force blinders. I just hate them, and I like to have options to remove them, but sadly that wasn't the case in the beta. But you know, I didn't play the proper full game yet, so they might change it. And I know some people that they couldn't invert the controls, that was annoying for some as well. But nevertheless, once you give the game chance, it's actually fun game, but it already looks like it's not for everyone, and the price point, which is $39.99, seems a bit steep. This is the same price point what Firewall launched at, another PSVR online shooter, and so far the best PSVR online shooter. And I know I can't really compare those two because even though they online shooters, they like kind of different genre of shooters. But saying that, Firewall, when it comes to even production values, the controls and the overall design decisions, Firewall just blows this game still. It's just better game. Even though I had fun with Space Junkies in the beta, I didn't had super mega fun like I did when I first played Firewall. So I think it's a solid game. It's coming from bigger studio, Ubisoft. They really supporting VR, and I'm thankful for it. And at one point they wasn't even going to bring Space Junkies to PSVR because of lack of thumbsticks, but they managed to find a solution, which is DualShock. But for many people, sadly, this solution is not satisfying enough. It's one of them games what's asking the players to give it a chance, give it a time, and then you eventually gonna get your fun once you get used to the controls and some of strange design decisions, while the games like Firewall or even Honor and Duty D-Day lately released, they just sticking you straight in action and giving you fun straight away. So please let me know in comment section what your thoughts are on the beta, and if you're gonna buy the game now, or are you gonna wait for the patch. Maybe you're waiting for the price drop because it's a bit too expensive. What I think about Space Junkies is that it's gonna be very divisive game, and there will be some online arguments because some people will absolutely love it, while other people probably will hate it. When it comes to PSVR online games, the player base is very important. Let's hope the player base will be big enough. Let's hope the people who gonna buy the game gonna give it the chance. So it looks like we're getting solid PSVR space shooter, but a bit controversial, with some very strange design decisions, but the one which can be fun, but only after you give it a chance. And that's it, bye.